You know what I mean? Like, I think people go to places or do things, and then they come back and they lie to their homies. Like,
1,000%, P.
like, it was lit.
It was lit.
And they don't tell, like, the real truth.
Make you had FOMO. Like, what? Look back at the videos. There's no one there.
Yeah, like, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they haven't won a playoff game since 2008.
Wow. Well, that's going to change this year.
For sure. They got to get one.
Yeah, they going to get one.
8? Damn.
Yeah, they not.
It's 2025.
The Knicks not going to sweep them for sure. Who is somebody on the opposite end that you was like, I know I'm a torch him?
Food?
Everybody.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
What's up, world? Victor Oladipo here. Welcome to episode 10 of The Inner Court. Here with my co-host, Neiman Johnson. And we here at The Inner Court podcast where we know for a fact that ain't what's on you. It's what's in you. Wow, episode 10. Congrats, Name.
Man, congrats, my boy.
You getting up there.
I like it, man. It's fun.
Season 1. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Season 1. It's been
get it.
great. Been great traction. Been great traction. We appreciate all those who have been in touch and in tune, stay in tune as we continue to build this brand and this platform. So peace and love. Thank you.
Quick check in. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm Gucci, man. You know, I'm feeling good, feeling great, enjoying myself.
You're not getting bored, are you?
Nah, I wouldn't say I'm getting bored. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, a couple years of just, training and rehabbing and getting back right. So I'm looking forward to getting back out there soon. Yeah,
I only ask because, rehab, you've been rehabbing like 2 years.
2 years.
So, things start to get repetitive,
Yeah, it can get boring a little bit. When I say that, like, not obviously getting better and improving, but the constant, every day is a grind type of mindset can be a little draining. So, this time that I have, to myself, I definitely try to find ways to maintain balance. Luckily I have Nono and, some other people to help me maintain that balance. But, it's all worth it. I'm looking forward to reaping what I've sown. Yeah.
Yeah. We was talking in the car. How important do you think it is to have like an accountability partner, somebody you can like confide in, tell them, mostly just anything that you thinking from the most minuscule to the biggest.
Yeah, I think it's really important for anyone to have either one. You don't need more than one, but if you have more than one, congratulations. It's an added bonus for you. But just one person that you could tell anything and everything to, and they won't treat you any differently. They won't make you feel lesser than. And you know that the love that you have for each other won't change, no matter what it is that you're telling them, no matter what it is that you're confiding them in, no matter what criticisms you might have for them as well too. So to have a relationship where you both can kind of be hypercritical of one another but still love each other regardless, I think it's important for everyone to have at least one person that they can do that with.
Yeah, I think that's important when you say like you guys can be hypercritical of each other but not fall out over it. Yep. I think a lot of times now it's like in this world we living in, like people are like nitpicking for other people's imperfections, but we're all gonna have imperfections, and it's like I think it's like that person when you find them is the person that is okay with your imperfections but want to help you perfect them, enough to where they are okay with you having the imperfections, And I think that a lot of people need to be a little more lenient with their friends or understanding that, like, man, they not perfect. You know, like I feel like I listen to people a lot and they're like, you know, people, they confide in me. And they like, when they confide in me, it's like they talking about their friends, close friends, and it's like, man, like they not gonna be perfect. Like it's okay. They gonna have like little flaws. And like, you know, I see people like nitpicking in flaws, and it's like,
Yeah, you know, it's funny too, is because I seen something and it's so profound to me. It's like certain eras and certain generations have it a little differently than other ones, but for the most part, I mean, you know, I feel like that a lot of us have this idea in our head about what rights look like. When I say rights, meaning like, okay, this person is right for me as a friend, as a companion, as a whatever. And in our mind, we have an idea of what that person has to do in order to fill that role and that and fill that void for us, essentially. And I think what's so profound to me is that once you understand that it's no one's job to necessarily fill that void, that the void is essentially coming from you, not at you, and that, you know, you have to almost have an understanding already that some people just, you know, you got to, like you said, you just got to have an understanding that some people got it and some people don't. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to anyone who might feel like they got it and then someone tell them they don't, or vice versa. It's just how life is. Like, some people like tomatoes, some people like tomato. Like, some people like, you know, whatever the case may be. It's always different, but yet so the same, still so much similar. But
yeah,
you just gotta, you know, you gotta be in the right mindset, you know, to be able to kind of channel it properly.
yeah. And also in friendship, I feel like I see a lot now where it's like everybody is maturing at different rates.
Yeah, facts.
You know, and you know, just because your friend is not like at the same level of maturity or understanding you're at, that don't make y'all not compatible to be friends.
Or if that person a bad person or a bad friend, you know what I mean? Like, it just, you know, I just think that us as human beings, we sometimes live in fairyland. Like, and I say that when it comes to love and companionship and to you know, just things like that, I think we have this idea that there's no such, if there is like a disagreement or there is something that doesn't work, then it's no longer love, then it's no longer for me, then it no longer works for me. But it's just like, well, then nothing is.
Right, because nothing is going to be perfect.
Right,
There's going to
exactly.
be imperfections in all that we do.
Yeah, I think love is being able to understand that, well, no matter what it is, we're going to get through this. Like, no matter what it is, I'm going to love you regardless. No matter what it is, I still see the good in you, feel the good in you. I'm not going to treat you any differently because of it. Like, and I think that's what love is. I think love is the hard things. I don't think love is the easy things. And I think that's the biggest misconception right now.
What's what's your understanding with like people who don't really understand who they are just yet, and then you encountering them on their way there? What is that like for you?
It's so interesting because like we said earlier, well, like I was telling you earlier, just in our conversations, like it's interesting to see how the different stages people are at in their lives, and like to see and remember, like, oh, I once was like that, or I once used to have that, you know, that insecurity or that feeling towards myself or towards, you know, humanity in general. But, you know, I think if it gets, you know, a little frustrating at times. I can't sit here and lie just because it's like, dang, I'm at this point, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of people you might meet and care about who might not be. And you have to give people grace and understanding, knowing that everyone obviously matures differently and everyone is living a different lifestyle, you know, and seeing it differently. But you know, I just try to have the understanding that it's not my job to understand it.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Like go through life understanding like, okay, there are some things I will understand, and then there are some things might not necessarily be supposed to understand. Like,
Yeah.
do I want to wake up and know all the secrets of the universe? Yeah, sure, probably. But I have the understanding that it makes sense and it doesn't make sense. It's here and it's not here. It's on and it's off. It's, it's real and it's not. So, I've just, I've accepted it, and, I just know how to handle it better, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Cause it's kind of hard to connect with people, I find, when they don't understand who they are as a person, and they still have these certain insecurities that they may have that society has led them to believe they're insecure about, that they need to be, a certain way and be doing a certain activity, or, have certain items. And it's like, a lot of times I find myself thinking like, dang, you still think you need that purse to impress who? Like you trying to impress people that other people that don't know who they are. So they value that purse as if it's something that gives you value, and really the only reason you got it is because you think they value it. You know what I mean? And then it's like this forever cycle of like people impressing people that don't even really know what they really want or like.
Yeah. So in your opinion, like how does one know that they know theirself?
I think it's about people like really digging in and asking themselves like, what is that moment when I really like sit back and be like, whatever activity is or whatever that they're doing, like I'm in heaven right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like no matter what it is, like you could be skydiving, you could be, it could be something that's like you just having a picnic. It could be, jet skiing, and then you turn the jet ski off in the middle of the ocean and you just sitting there and you like, man, this is heaven. Or you could be on the beach and the server could be bringing your favorite food and you looking out and you with your family and you like, man, I'm in heaven right now. But whatever that I'm in heaven right now moment is, I don't feel like a lot of people are seeking it like that for themselves. Like they're looking at the pictures and the photos and the videos of other people and they're like, dang, they look like they in heaven. So maybe I want to do that so I can look like I'm in heaven, when it's like, but what is your heaven? What does your heaven look like? Like, what do you like to do? What brings you excitement? What brings you joy? I don't think people are like really zooming out and examining like what really makes them happy. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm viewing people, doing things that other people want to do, but as they're doing them, it's not like I don't think they're enjoying it. I think they just like flexing, but they don't even really know why they doing it. They don't know why they out there. They just know everybody else either would want to be, or like it's desirable, so they do it. You know what I mean? But they don't really have like an idea of like, dang, or like they don't really love what they doing.
Yeah.
Like, I love going to Coachella.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think, you know what I mean? And then you translate it's like, oh, so you like being in the desert, in the dirt, watching artists perform. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
kind of. It's like, oh, you like to be dirty?
Yeah, you like
So,
to be.
nah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, cause it like even nowadays, like partying is like, okay, they have a bunch of parties outside, so it's like, oh, you go to the party, they got all these like, little areas set up. They may got some drinks, but ain't nobody dancing nowadays. Ain't nobody.
That's not a thing.
Because even if you love dancing, people gonna look at you crazy because you dancing.
Yeah, because you dancing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they don't know what they like, so they don't know like, oh, that person just like to dance. You know what I'm saying? So okay, let me leave them alone and let them do their
dance.
thing.
Yeah.
And some people don't know so much of who they are that they try to shame other people for knowing what they like. You know what I mean? Because it's like they don't know what they like, so that's their defense mechanism. Like, oh, that's lame. That's lame. No. You're lame because you don't know what you like to do.
Yeah, facts. So let's say one's at a point where they're like, okay, I know that I might not know myself, but I want to. Where do you think that individual should start, and how do they think they should go about it?
I think they should just start channeling the things that they like, channeling their childhood, or channeling like just little experience that they experienced before when they was just having a great time. That, or just start trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like just try new things that you would think you would like to do. You know what I mean? It might be reading. You know what I mean? It might be jet skiing. It might be fishing. It might be drawing. Just try some stuff and see what you like to do. You know what I mean? Go to the beach. Like, go on a hike. Try some stuff. You know what I mean? And then, like, see how you feel. Like, take notes as you doing it. Like, nah, I didn't really like that. Oh, I like this. And be real with yourself, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think oftentimes people go do these things, and they are like trying to experiment. And they trying to, that's why people go, I feel like, to Dubai or Tulum, or because other people have went, and then they like come back and they see the videos and they're like, oh, I want to try it. But then when you experience it, you got to be real with yourself. Like, oh, okay, like this what I liked about Tulum. This what I didn't like about Tulum. And then you try what you don't like, go try to find a place that don't have that. You know what I mean? Like, because all these different places, I just think people need to be real about all of it. You know what I mean? Like, I think people go to places or do things, and then they come back and they lie to their homies. Like,
1,000%, P.
Like, oh, it was lit.
It was lit.
And they don't tell, like, the real truth.
Make you have FOMO, like, what? Look back at the videos, there's no one there.
Yeah, like, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like recently, like, some of my homies, they just went to Tulum. You know what I mean? They was at the little, it's not that many spots to go to, but then they was at the little taboo spot. I'm like, watching the video, I'm like, bro, they listening to like house music. But it's my homies though. It's like, I know y'all
don't like house music.
I know y'all don't like house music. I never turn that on. Like, but it's just like, that's the lit spot to go to.
Yeah. So
and that's what y'all seen on the video.
So you know what they gonna do? They just gonna get drunk and tune it out.
And then so that's what they did. They had their little drinks. And then it was like, but they not gonna come back and be like, oh,
it was we didn't really like the music.
You know the mosquitoes.
Hey, bro.
Like, you know what I mean?
They gonna be like, oh, we was lit.
Not gonna say nothing. So it's like, I just think that's happening all around. Like, you know what I mean? Like even for Paris, right? Like, Paris got this thing where it's like, you go over there and you quickly realize it's ghetto. But Paris has branded so crazy to where it's like the Eiffel Tower, elegant, etiquette, high fashion.
Yeah.
But then you get there and you see hella scammers.
They a little mean out
like,
that
they
joint
mean,
too,
like, it's a little sketch. You walking down the street like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, but nobody comes back and reports the real, you know what I mean, the real deal. Like,
they take pics of the Eiffel though.
They gonna take what? They gonna try to make it seem like it's the most crackingest thing they ever did. You know what I mean? Like, even like passion, like Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. We didn't go to Paris, but we done been in New York Fashion Week
a few times.
So you mean to tell me you really want to go sit in that chair and watch them models walk down that aisle, and you really enjoyed yourself?
What percentage of people actually you think enjoy that versus don't?
Man, I mean, honestly, I think there's a good 10 to 15% of people that actually
do
either want to be that model walking down, or they want to design the clothes. You know what I mean? And that's like their Super Bowl. So they like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. But I think for like people like us, like, first of all, it ain't never been nothing on the runway that I seen, rare.
That you was like, you want.
Like, where I was like, oh, that's hard. I want that.
Funny.
Give me 15. Give me every color. Like, there's never really been that time. If y'all go YouTube Fashion Weeks and y'all see what, and even women too. Like, it ain't never been a time where you seen something on the runway and you like, Oh yeah, I want that. Give me 15 of those. Like give me the whole line.
So
for
funny,
sure.
P.
But it's just like I just like when is people gonna tell the truth? Like Dubai, like you go to Dubai, you fly over there, take hella long, and then right now in Dubai, it's 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta acclimate to the time, you know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, what we gonna do? I can tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna do the ATV in the sand dune. If you lucky, you're gonna go to the
He run it itinerary.
Yeah, I can run your whole itinerary. It's like if you lucky, you go,
Hey,
link,
you
go link with a sheik. When is this? Okay, yeah.
Fall winter 2025 New York Fashion Week.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's never a time like a girl was like, "Oh, that's fire. I need that." This one is actually kind of cool. Like, what show is this? Because this one is actually kind of cooler. Like that fit is tough. I don't know, but like I don't think she's the right.
I think it's retro
for this.
Retrofit. But yeah, I mean,
But you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the like, and then look at everybody. They got their phone out, and it's like, for what? What you recording? You recording the model walk down, or what's the name? We don't know the model name, because models ain't popular like that no more. It ain't no Tyra Bankses no more.
No Naomi
it's
Campbell's.
not cracking like that. Like, it's like.
Not to our knowledge, of course.
Well, I mean, but it's just like, this what we came to do. Like, some people fly to Paris, fly to New York.
All over the world, too.
To sit right there and watch them, like, what?
So you think it's more so it's to say I did it rather than I enjoy doing it.
For sure. It's because it's to say that I did it because other people think they want to do it, not knowing they don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. And the person sitting down filming don't want it. That they really don't know why they there either. They only know that the only reason they there is because they think it's desirable to be there.
So a lot of people, you think a lot of people do things because they are concerned about how people might perceive it, or maybe it's because like they feel like other like popular people will be there. That's why they do it.
I think it's a little both. A little of both. I think it's like people want to look like they doing something that is desirable or that everybody can't do. Mm-hmm. And then I think that, like for instance, right? Like you'll be at a concert. I never understood this, like, cause I mean, I'm in music. I'll be, and people want to go to backstage so bad. They want the backstage wristband. Everybody want the wristband. And then it's like, you want to go backstage, but the whole point of a concert is to watch the show.
Yeah. But
people will be backstage when the show is going on. Mm-hmm. Like it's like, you don't even know why you want to be back here. You just want to be back here because everybody can't come back here. But it's not even
like
the thing.
The wristbands before the Heat games, my boy.
Like that's the thing. It's like you don't even really know why you want to be in a lounge.
Why you just want to be
exactly. Because if I was really being like, okay, so why you want to be back here? Oh, because there's people back here is networking. Okay, well, you really prep for the network? Like you really got your shit together where like it's like you could really pitch your shit right here in the lounge, like. Yeah, so what you do? Oh, yeah, I own Bank of America. You got your whole pitch line? No, 9 times out of 10, no, you don't got your shit. You just want to be back there with them because you think that everybody else want to be back there with them. You're not ready, though.
What percentage of people do you think are going to try and actually figure out if they like it or not? It's probably
slim, like bro.
1%.
That's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because I want people to like, get elevated, like have a purpose, have a meaning, have like a, have a target, have a goal, like, and understand why you doing stuff and understand that you doing it because you like to do it and you don't care what other people think about it. Yeah. I like to paint, so I'm going to paint. And matter of fact, y'all don't know what y'all like to do, so come with me and paint.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Like, cause you might like this too. You don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because
it's so funny you say that. It's because what's so profound too. What you had said earlier, it came to my mind. You said that go and try things and take notes. Like, I think that was really profound to me, because I feel like also in order for someone to truly know themselves is they have to really study their patterns of how they process information. So when they're in a situation where someone does something or someone says something, how do you usually respond mentally? What is the first thing that comes to mind in certain scenarios? Or like if you're going, I don't know, someone cuts you off in traffic, what are the constant patterns that you have mentally when certain scenarios come up, and how do you respond? Once you figure out how you're responding to certain scenarios, you can then kind of form how you want to respond, you know what I mean? What you want to do, you know what I mean? Like, so, because for me, I remember how I used to respond in certain scenarios in relationships and friendships and partnerships and in business. And now it's completely different because of the fact that I know how I used to respond to things and I'm aware of it. So when it comes up, it's like, nah, I'm in the moments. Like, I've been in scenarios with Neem where I had to leave the room. Neem comes and I'm telling Neem, like, man, it was just a situation where I felt it coming and I needed to, and I think that's knowing yourself as well. Just to add on to what bro said, bro came from it from like an external, like you need to know this, and the same thing applies internally too. It's a lot of work, you know what I mean? If you really care about yourself, it's no work, but I think that's also profound too, because if you taking those notes and you realizing the things that you're doing and you're in tune with yourself internally and how you're responding internally, well, then it'll be a direct correlation to how you respond externally. Then maybe you can truly find what you actually enjoy. You know what I'm saying? It actually makes sense to you and you're not responding to whatever it is from a traumatic or a response that just kind of follows the herd, or, you know, just, you know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty profound what you said. I just wanted to piggyback on that.
No, that's big. That's big time. Like, you know, because I think a lot of, like, as you're going through life, I feel like you should be taking notes. You know what I mean, on yourself, how what you're doing, so you can do, you know, you could do it better from the biggest things to the smallest things. Like, you know, like, should I brush my teeth first and then get in the shower? And then, like, when I get out the shower, should I put my lotion on? Like, I think you should be analyzing every single little part of your, you know what I mean, to perfect your life, you know? I think, you know, it was a question on there. Go back to the questions. There was a question. It say, have you ever caught yourself doing something just for the camera, right? And I feel like a lot of times, I think a lot of people should ask themselves that, because there would be a lot of times people would go places they wouldn't have even went if they couldn't pull their phone out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be parties that I've been to where, you know, they don't allow phones. I feel like in the party, it's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like people don't even know why they there. They just like, oh, it's boring. And it cause they don't got their phone. They can't, but if they had their phone, they'd be like playing like they having the greatest time. You know,
Fools go.
And it's like, man, you know, I mean, cause that's so true that now they have places like in the mall or like that ice cream museum type of place where it's set up just for you to take pictures and
facts.
do videos. and they have businesses on them. Like, this a real business. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna set up photo ops for people because that's what they want to do.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, yeah, we could go on and on about that, bro. We could go on and on about that.
Earlier you said find your heaven. Wouldn't it be more enjoyable for people who found their heaven if the rest of the people that were there were also in there? Yeah,
exactly.
No, exactly. I mean, that's the whole point of, like, finding yourself. Like, the only reason I care is because you kind of hinder my joy when you don't know what you want to do, you know, and you don't know yourself. Yeah, like when you're insecure, you hinder me. You're hindering me whether you know it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because now I know that you don't like yourself, you know, or not. I mean, it's that too. But I know you don't like yourself. I know you don't know yourself. So now I know you now you a different person. So now you trying to be this person that I know you're not. And then now I know myself. So I don't really care what kind of car, how we get there, what we look like. As long as I'm in my heaven, I'm good. But you so worried about if we took a black truck, or if we stand in a suite, or we got a table and we got a bottle. Why do I need a bottle? I don't drink. I don't like the way it tastes. You don't even know why we getting the bottle. You don't like the way out. Who really likes the way alcohol tastes?
Hey, Bo.
Who really likes it, like
You
enjoys
might gotta
it?
drop the mic on that one because it is not tough.
It's not good. It's not good, fam. Like it's just like
funny,
beer.
boy.
Like most people, you go to the club, they got drinks. Hey, you like beer? Ew. Bruh, it's the same thing.
It might taste better than alcohol.
It's the same thing, bro. It's
Low
terrible.
key. Yeah.
You like beer?
Bro, that's funny.
But that's it. But see, that's the thing.
He said, but I don't be though.
But people,
Shit,
it's
that's
all
funny.
about what you like. You know what I mean? It's just like it does hinder when you don't know what you like and you around people that do know what they like or do know themselves. Like it makes the whole vibe uncomfortable. For sure.
I think it kind of also gets tricky too once you're in a relationship, especially like an intimate one, and you care for the individual, and you sometimes seldom hold back from being yourself because you're trying to appeal to someone or appeal to a crowd or appeal to certain individuals. And I feel like that's when you essentially should probably be yourself the most and gain the understanding that so both of you have that sense of nirvana within one another so that you guys can experience it with each other and share it with each other. But it starts with self because, again, obviously, if you don't really have it within yourself, you can't really have it with someone else. So,
Because in a relationship, so many people, like, relationship-wise, it's well known that in the beginning, it's like the honeymoon stage. And in the honeymoon stage, it's all pleasant. It's all,
not all
and
the
it's
time,
because the masks are on. You know what I'm saying? Like the mask of who I think you want me to be and you doing what you think I want. And you from your life experience are like, all right, this is a new canvas and this is how I want he or she to look at me. You know what I mean? Instead of like, you're not that good of an actor. You're not going to be able to hold it up the whole time. You might as well, like, wouldn't you want somebody to just like you for you? Like, isn't that...
that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, like, isn't that so much more convenient? Because I live in convenience.
But the thing is, Pete, what if, this is just me playing devil's advocate, but what if, the person that they want, doesn't necessarily want who they are?
Then that's not the person for you.
That's tough for some people. Some people can't swallow that pill.
Man, but it's like, what, you don't want to be at peace? You
Nah,
don't
they
want
just
to
want
be...
the baddest joint.
That's crazy.
Hey, bro.
So they willing to sacrifice like peace, joy, convenience just to have a bad joint?
Yes.
That sounds
I think so.
crazy to me, my man.
I
That
think so.
sounds crazy to me.
I think so.
But it sounds like people would do it though.
Yes, for
It
sure.
does sound like people would do it.
And I think it's more
do.
people than we think that do that.
Because now that you say that, I do have a friend that likes a girl that don't want to tell the girl that he likes her just because I think that he thinks...
Once you do that, something happens, right?
Well, I think he thinks that if he finds out that she doesn't like him, he doesn't... He'd much rather just have the thought of like, maybe she does, and she responds to my text, so I'm cool with that. And instead of just like...
See?
just telling her, and But I think it's like a communication. I'm telling them like, hey fam, like just tell her like, I know we friends, but I am attracted to you. I can't hide it. Like, I'm attracted to you and I would like to pursue it. But if you're not on that, I don't want that to mess things up. Like, let's still be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't feel the same, like, you know, hey, I can still go back to, you know, we was friends. Like, let's just do that.
You know what I think it is, P? I think that, I think it does, like you said earlier, when you said in order to find yourself, you should kind of time travel back to yourself as a child. And a lot of us, we got to understand, like, you know, the era in which we all were, you know, kind of raised in. And I feel like, you know, mental health and being expressive, you know, kind of found its way to mainstream media later on down the line. So a lot of people don't know how to have tough conversations or hard conversations or uncomfortable conversations. People shy away from that. And that's why I was like, so you can never really honestly get what you want if you don't know how to have those type of conversations, in my opinion, because then you'll be sugarcoating. Then you'll be essentially accepting something that makes the other individual happy, even though it doesn't make you happy. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, you know, I'd rather, you know, I'd rather just not be happy. And then, you know, then to have to address something, you know what I mean? Because either we are afraid of confrontation, or we shy away from it, or we don't know how to handle it, or we don't know how to handle rejection, or, you know, just, I hate to call it negative things, but the other side of things, you know what I'm saying? We don't know how to handle it because, you know, growing up, no one taught us how to handle it. We didn't really, it was either, you know, discipline was a little different back then. My mama calling me, my bad, y'all. But discipline was a little different back then. So it was more so like, you know, especially parents, you know, of that generation, it was like, this is going to be our way, and you kind of got to go with it, you know what I mean? And then very rarely were you able to, like, in some households, maybe most of them, I'm not sure, but it's very hard to be expressive and express yourself and then sit down and have conversations about, well, what are you feeling? Why do you feel that way? Like, very rarely do you have those experiences. So then when you grow older, you think just because you're older that you're more mature. You think age equates to maturity. I don't know. It does not. Yeah. It does not. So as you grow older, you think because you're older, and a lot of people use this as an excuse for other males or other females in relationships, like, oh, he's older, so that should be. But it's like,
nah, that don't mean that they've grown.
We use this. Think about this. It took me almost 11,000 days just to get drafted, just to be good enough to be a professional. You spent your whole life being a certain way, storing shit in your subconscious, not addressing things, not knowing yourself. It took you 11,000 days. And then you think that this individual who's been on the earth 13,000 days should know just because they've been on the 13,000 days, they should have the answers. But your whole life, you professionally become, your whole life you become a professional at being professionally unstable, being professionally unknowing of yourself, you become a professional in those things. And then you just expect, because that you're 33 or 30 years old, that it's just going to go away, or with one conversation that is just going to go away, or one therapist that is just going to go away. But it took you 11,000 days to be professional at it.
That's huge. That's big time. That's huge. You know, true. How do you feel about when people say they're not confrontational nowadays?
I mean, I could see that. I could see them saying that just because, you know, the world is wild and people you don't know. Obviously, you're not just going to be like, if someone cut me off in traffic, I'm not about to pull up, wind down the window.
Right.
But as far as within the realm of like people you care about and friends and just everyday life, I think people just, you know, don't want to ruffle feathers, obviously. And maybe they feel like, you know, if they do, then they won't get their sense of heaven. And that's why I said there's like this misconception of love, because I equate heaven to love, right? It's the whole, like, heaven is like the the staple for love. That's where, you know, I mean, that's the goal in life really, is to get to heaven. And in my mind, it's like on earth as it is in heaven. So is your earth a reflection of that heaven that you so graciously think that is, you know, is something that you need to obtain? Does your life reflect where you're trying to go? Because if you don't have that sense or feeling of it, how do you expect to get there?
Because I asked you that because you were once a person who felt like you didn't want to be confrontational.
Yeah.
But I feel like now you understand even the meaning of it isn't.
It's
what
skewed. It's
skewed.
skewed.
Like, because it's not like just because I don't like something, that don't mean I'm confrontational.
Exactly.
But that's what you may have thought.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
hey, I don't like that. I don't. You shouldn't do that. Or if when you're around me, maybe don't do that. And back then, you would have thought like, I don't really want to say that, but I'm feeling it with all my soul. But it's not confrontational.
Yeah, because I think the confrontation comes from the response, because you don't necessarily know how the other individual is going to respond to you, essentially either telling them what to do or telling them how you feel or whatever the case may be. But it's essential. And like you said, like, just being able to, it's essential because you need to set boundaries. I think that's the biggest thing. And essential because how is the individual going to truly understand what you want and need and who you are if you're not being real and clarifying with them what your needs and what your do's and don'ts are. So
no, that's good. All right, so with that understanding, right, like with the understanding that one would have and you wanting to help people, but with the understanding of like how people comprehend, like when you, like even when we saying it on this platform and we knowing like not many is even gonna understand, you know what I'm saying? But for those who are, like, how do you cope with knowing that, like, man, you still not getting it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
you know, it's something that's new for me too, like, because I was in a space, especially like growing up, I never really understood why people hated. Like, why an individual would hate on me. Because it's like, well, first and foremost, I have no hate in my heart for nothing. So it's just like, well, what is this individual hating on me for? Why does this individual not like me? Why would I rub this individual the wrong way? And during this journey, I've come to this understanding that it's okay to agree to disagree. Like, everything doesn't have to end with, okay, we're on the same page. Like, understanding that we're on different pages is having an understanding that we're on different pages is an understanding of being on the same page. You know what I'm saying? We just, whatever this is, we just agree to disagree and we move on. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a relationship, friendship, relationship, whatever the case may be, and you guys can't understand what really matters, then, and every so often, like, whatever comes up or something may come up and it then negates you from not really remembering what really matters, then you essentially aren't emotionally intelligent to be in a relationship, in my opinion. Like, the strengths of a relationship isn't what you post on Instagram, the trips you guys take, the anniversaries. That's not the strength and power of your relationship. Strength and power of your relationship is that no matter what happens, no matter what comes up, you guys can leave that situation with an understanding and still be in love or still have a friendship or still have a partnership afterwards.
That's big time. 'Cause
that's what love is.
Yeah. That's super big
not
time.
the nice stuff, not what it looks like, not the pretty cars, the pretty clothes and the flowers, and it's not that. That's not love. That's what love looked like for y'all. But I mean, we live in a world where it's here today and gone tomorrow. You could see it today and it could all be gone tomorrow. So it's the small things that suck. Like, it's uncomfortable having uncomfortable conversations and you don't know how the person's going to respond and you hope the person doesn't take it the wrong way. It's uncomfortable, but that's life. That's love. you guys get stronger over time when you're able to work through that, no matter what it is, no matter who it is.
Nah, that's that's important life stuff.
For sure.
For sure.
All right, we might need to switch it up.
Yeah,
we brought in.
We came in the gate trying to help y'all with this.
Fruit of knowledge.
Man.
I love it though. It needs to be said though, bro. That's real important though. That's real dope too. Not only just for, because I bet you that a lot of athletes feel like they're exempt from conversations like that because it doesn't involve sport.
Right.
But I think it's definitely essential, and I think it applies to sports, because if you can manage your relationships and who you are off the court, off the field, it's easier to do that when you're in a sports, in a team.
Nah, for sure, because like one may think like a guy playing sports professionally may think like, oh well, I made it to the league, like everything is okay. You know what I mean? I don't got to deal with certain things, and it's like, nah. It damn near like just started.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your adulthood just started. It just started a little bit faster than everybody else's.
Exactly.
Because now you got responsibilities that most adults don't have.
Exactly.
And you gotta like kind of handle people differently and understand it and understand like most of the times like you gonna be the leader in a situation, and the leader kind of gotta dictate like and say what we doing, what we not doing, what I like, what I don't like. Can't just be cool with everything. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. No, it's not cool. Everything is not cool.
That's a fact.
It's not, everything is not gonna be cool. Like some things is gonna have to recommend you putting your foot down and being like, nah, we not doing that. This how we doing it. This is what it is.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
All right.
Yeah, we might need to start getting into this hoops. Get into some sports, because it's been kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's been kind of crazy. Playoff basketball is around the corner.
What is it, like one game left?
I think today is it today? I think today are the last games, maybe one more. We'll see.
But it's playoff time.
It's time. It's that time of the year. It might be the best time of the year. They talking about Christmas.
We got a good little.
They said it was Christmas, but I don't know.
We got a good little lineup coming.
Yes, sir. Matchups. For sure matchups. Okay.
So for sure matchups, we got New York Knicks versus Detroit Pistons.
Off the rip. Who you got?
Man, I mean, who I like. Hey, well. I like the Pistons.
Really?
But I'm saying I like.
You like them.
But
okay.
Who's gonna win?
Yeah.
If everybody is healthy, which they are on the Knicks, then the Knicks are probably gonna take that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Knicks in 6.
Yeah, Detroit's gonna win a couple. Yep.
Knicks
I like that.
6,
I like Knicks in 6.
4-2.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Detroit could get one at home.
I think
maybe 2.
I think it's just gonna be tough for them to stop Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
I think it's just really gonna be tough for them to stop him, and I think Cat is gonna do his thing. He's gonna have a little trouble with the other Jalen Duran down there.
Duran.
Or was it Duran? His last name Duran?
Duran. But I call him Duran.
Duran. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna have some problems with him. I think Cade is gonna do his thing.
Yeah.
At the end of it all.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think the Knicks just have a little more experience too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They was in the almost in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They was in the semis, so.
But Detroit is really good, man.
We're fans of theirs too. They've been playing really well all year.
I like what they was doing when they added the pieces. I knew they would win like a lot more games. I didn't think they would be this good though, honestly.
Yeah, it might be like the biggest turnaround in NBA history.
Probably. Congrats to everybody over there, GM, everybody. Like
their coach, everybody. Yeah, they did their thing job. For sure. They haven't won a playoff game since 2008.
Wow, well that's gonna change this year. For sure.
They gotta get one.
Yeah, they gonna get one.
8? Damn.
Yeah, they not. It's 2025. The Knicks not gonna sweep them for sure. So Indiana Pacers versus the Bucks.
Great series.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
That
That's
might go
gonna be real
7.
good. Yeah, that's gonna be good because Indy plays hard.
Yep.
They're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
They playing good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bucks are like
They've been playing better, bro.
they've been playing.
Damian
really,
Lillard coming back, I think, this week.
what?
I think that's what I seen. He coming back. They said he expected to come back first round of the playoffs.
What? That could be very, very,
If
very.
he does,
that could be interesting.
that's gonna be an interesting. I just like it because it's the rivalry of Halliburton and Dame got a little sauce going on.
They do.
Yeah, remember in the plan 2 years ago when Tyrese was doing the Dame time to Dame?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he
people
did it
thought it was a little early for that.
He did it again in the regular season. This was right before Dame had the blood clots issue thing. They had played the Bucks in Indy.
Who's a better point guard?
If we're talking legit point guards, then Tyrese Halliburton. Better scoring point guard. It's not even. I would have to go with Dame.
But is the position different now?
I think the NBA is positionless in my opinion. I mean, that when I say that, it's not. I'm not saying that we don't have a 2 guard, a point guard, but I mean, guys' roles are interchangeable.
The definitions
they're interchangeable. Like you can put different guys in different places and it still be effective.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would have to go with. If I had to pick, if Dame plays, it's gonna go 7. If not, I got Pacers in 6.
So
if Dame don't play
on Milwaukee,
I don't know if
who are
Giannis
their
can beat him by
scorers?
himself.
Giannis and Dame. Who else?
And then I think Kevin Porter been playing better off the bench for them.
Oh, like these last couple games, he's been hooping going crazy.
He been hooping off the bench, and I mean, Bobby Portis is back off his suspension. So they could make a little run. I mean, between Dame and Giannis, that might be enough to beat the Pacers. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Pacers have a little more. I think they're a deeper team. I think their bench is better than Milwaukee's bench. But in the playoffs, it's a shortened rotation. So if you ain't bringing the Jazz, you're gonna have to sit your ass down. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see for sure.
How do you feel about?
We not saying that on.
Yeah. My bad.
Well, what was you about to say? We don't gotta add it though. It's like,
I don't know. I was gonna ask about Bobby Portis, but I ain't.
Yeah, all right, cool. No worries.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
No worries.
So yeah, that was on the Eastern Conference Eastern Conference side. I mean, who gives Boston and Cavs some problems? The Cavs, like, who gives Boston
in the East?
Yeah. Who gives them the issues?
Who has the best chance of giving those 2 issues?
Yeah, like in these series, like who's gonna get them issues?
I think the Knicks and Indy are the best bets. Milwaukee healthy, maybe, yeah. But those 3 teams is it. I mean,
so we gonna see them in the final.
Who?
Boston and Cleveland.
Right now, I just got to see Cleveland in the second round. I got to see. It's hard. I don't know.
Oh, you're not really a believer in Cleveland.
I don't know. We'll see. They got to get out of the second round. We'll see.
Interesting. Because what they showed me this last game, like their bench played the Pacers starters and almost beat them. And today, their bench is playing the Pacers bench. I don't know what the score is now, but when I watched it, it was up 16. So that Cleveland bench is like, they serious
good.
over there.
They good. They got some. Yeah, they got some guys playing really good this year. But we gonna see though. Like I said, we gonna see that.
So
7 games is different, P.
Vic, it's okay for you to be a Miami Heat fan.
I'm not a Heat fan.
You not a Heat fan?
No. We ain't talking about the Heat. We was talking about the Pacers.
No, I know, but I'm talking about But you think that he could beat Chicago?
Yeah, I do. I think they can. Because it's one game. It's one game. It's one game. Winner wins. Winner goes on. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like with the Heat, you just can't count them out. You can't count Spo out.
No, you can't count them out.
Can't count Spo out.
No.
You can't count Spo and their way
I'm
they
not
rush.
even gonna lie to you. There was that time when they went to the final. Actually,
Yeah, I was on the team. Yeah.
no,
yeah.
I know. Yeah, I y'all was played in the play-in.
Yeah.
I thought it was over.
Yeah, facts. We didn't think that was gonna happen.
I mean, I know. I was planning a vacation. Like,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why one thing about the Heat, they got the formula. Now, the scientists that they got in there working the formula, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But they got the formula. They got the ingredients for sure to get there. That's why you can't really count them out. But we'll see how it works though. But Chicago been on a tear.
They been balling. Yo, but we gonna see.
So in the West, who is it? Because you don't like OKC.
No, I do like them. I just don't know how they're similar to Cleveland for me. As far as like, man, I gotta not as that I gotta see it to believe it, but it's like I gotta see you get out that second round. I gotta see it. Them two, I gotta see it. Cause I've seen them not. You know what I mean? So I gotta see in a 7-game series how they both gonna act, man.
Do you think people
Boston proven, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
you know what I mean? So it's like the other two, that's
fair.
the only knock with y'all two. It's like, I mean, I just haven't seen it. So we'll see.
Do you think people are undervaluing the Houston Rockets?
A little bit, yeah. Just because their style of play might not be the sexiest, but they play hard as a mother.
Yeah, they play hard.
What? Stupid hard. It's
Yeah,
like
they play
so.
hard.
But I think their style of they're no one's as flashy as SGA over there. You know what I mean? Like, no, they didn't win as many games as Cleveland. You know what I mean? So they're not defending champs like Boston, but they play hard. They second in the West. So
do you attribute their success to their head coach?
yes, Ime, 1,000%, 100%. I do.
Because is Jalen Green a superstar?
That's a great question. I think that he has the capabilities. He has a chance to be. I think he could be. I think he has the talent to be. I think he might have got snubbed for All-Star this year, possibly. You know what I mean? So I don't think bro's far off, though, from being like someone considered as that, though. I think he can, especially scoring-wise, I feel like he can definitely keep up with some of the big-time scorers, young scorers that we have in our league, too. So I think he's got a chance. I just think it's about, obviously the right timing and for everything to work in his favor and stuff like that. So, but I think he has the talent to be. Can.
Do you think they could beat the Lakers in a 7-game series?
I mean, this is just my opinion. Okay?
That's all you can get.
I'm going to have to say no. Only because if the Lakers are healthy, it's tough. Like I told you the other day, they got 2 gentlemen on their team that have been to the finals on their own without each other. Now they got 2 on the same team that pretty much has carried teams to the finals. So you can't really count them out. You can't really count them out. But I think Houston is really good, and I think it'll be a 7-game series, and I just think the Lakers would either win in 6 or 7 if they play Houston.
Do you feel like Austin Reaves, right? Like, do you feel like if they gave him his own team, he would do the same numbers?
As long as the team is, kind of catered to him and his strengths and his weaknesses, yeah. Because if you just give him his team and then the personnel that you have with him don't necessarily, I don't want to say cover for his weaknesses, but essentially like complement his weaknesses, then it's not going to work. But if you got a team that's bringing him in and we're like, you're our guy. And not only are you a guy, we're going to mold our team around you. So the rest of the guys are going to be compliments to you. And then, yeah, I think he could definitely average 30 a game if he really wanted to, for sure.
Because
now, like, it's different though when you the guy. Now, let me say this now. I don't know how he would handle getting trapped and being on the top, being at the head of the scouting report and guys really trying to take away. He the third option over there. So that's the third option guarding him. Because like not too many third options that's better than Austin Reaves. Might be none.
Nah, I don't think. No, he's a really good third option. He's really good. But I just wonder is because like hitting a wide open shot is a skill. It is a skill. Mm-hmm. Like it is not given. Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of people miss wide open shots. Mm-hmm. And when you play with somebody like Luka and Bron or Steph and Jimmy Butler and you play with SGA, if I was the coach, I'm telling my guys that are not SGA, bro, just hit your open shots and we're going to win the games.
I wish it was so simple, right? Just hit your open shots. Like
just hit the open shots. Like just take efficient shots. But
it gets a little tricky down that game.
That's why I say you compliment my point because AR is hitting his open shots. Like he's taking full advantage of, y'all gonna double them and I'm gonna abuse my guy.
That's it.
You know who that was? Who? That was Jordan Poole.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and in Golden State.
In Golden State. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was Jordan Poole.
For sure. But
so does Austin have a chance to get his own team? Or if it's
sweet. I mean, his position right now is like having his own team in the league. You on the Lakers, so that's the number one franchise. That's
so
like
if you was like
him being the third option on there is like having your own team. Just stay where you at, bro. You
Just stay right there, bro. You doing just fine.
Grass ain't always greener, man. You good. Just stay right there. That shit sweet. Like I could see if it was maybe like a different situation, but bro, you in LA, you playing with Bron and Luka, and you still averaging 20. Just stay where you at. Mm-hmm. Just stay where you at and enjoy that shit. Try to win one there, because then you win one there. Boom, you out of here. You win one in with the Lakers? Man, come on, man.
You think Golden State got another gear than what they've been playing in this regular season?
Now, listen. I don't know if Golden State has another gear, but I do know 10 has another gear. I know that 10 and 30, they got playoff gears.
For sure. I seen it up close and personal. I seen 10's gear. Mm-hmm.
And I
10
know
got a gear.
10 got a gear.
Jimmy Butler, he tried to downplay that playoff Jimmy. He knows. There's a different type of...
Yes, he does.
There's a different type of playoff Jimmy. Like, he comes to play. I think it's going to be interesting to see, like, who they play in the playoffs.
I think it's the Lakers first round.
Do they play the Lakers the first round?
I think it's Lakers first round. I think it's Lakers first round. I think it's...
Because I know they play... Don't they play the Lakers tonight?
Yeah, but I don't think nobody playing.
Yeah, nobody's playing, but they play. I think going to be a crazy series first round.
Yeah.
That's like...
Yeah, I think right now they're supposed to play the Lakers first round. I think that's I think that's a set matchup too. Lakers, Golden State first round.
That's gonna be big time.
Woo! Popcorn ready. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. We got another Bron Steph matchup. Now we got Curry Jimmy to add on to Bron and Steph.
It's gonna get interesting. These playoffs is gonna be exciting. This is like the first playoff where it's like not a clear cut, like, it's gonna be Boston. Yeah. We didn't know Dallas was going last year. For sure.
Facts, for sure.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, the Lakers are the Dallas of last year right now. And it's funny because Luka's there, but essentially.
It's so crazy how the tables turn, man.
That shit could flip. That's why that shit could flip quick. It's crazy.
Man.
Crazy.
So, yeah, man.
College basketball.
College basketball got very interesting towards the end there.
Yes, it did.
I was watching a lot of basketball. So
College basketball.
Houston beats Duke.
Houston beats Duke. I don't think people were expecting that.
No, definitely wasn't expecting
You
that.
think Cooper Flag going back to school? Because it's back and forth right now. I'm hearing a lot of different things.
If I was Coop, I'd probably go to the league. This is what I would do if I was his pops or on his team. I would really get a gauge. Like, I would really tap in with, like, an agent and, like, get a gauge. Like, hey, yo, get a gauge on, like, where I would go and what my usage would be, you know? And if they were going to, like, use me and, like, really try to grow with me and, like, build with me and tell me what my weaknesses were, but had the person there or like had the personnel to improve, then I would go. But if it's like on some like they not really gonna utilize me and I'm just gonna be on the bench, like not really, you know, like kind of like what Miami does with their rookies, like they really develop them. Like if it was going to a team like that and with that understanding, I would go. But if not, then I would kind of probably hold off.
Interesting. We'll see though. He got a couple months. What
would you do? What would you tell him to do?
Whatever he wants. I think he's a lottery either way. If he comes out this year, next year he's a lottery, and I think he's going to start wherever team he goes to right away.
Yeah. So we like Paige Beckers. We've been watching her for a while. She's been through a lot of adversity. Just won the Natty. When I think of Paige, I think of Juju. I just
ditto.
Yeah, and I heard what's my man? I was sitting on a plane with him, and then his trainer, he was training Kyrie.
Phil Handy?
Phil Handy, yes.
Okay.
I heard Phil Handy. He was saying that he was talking to Kyrie. Kyrie was taking the injury well.
Oh, nice. That's good.
He was saying Juju is kind of like her first injury.
Yeah.
What would you say to Juju? Like advice-wise?
I think the biggest thing I would tell her, the first thing I would tell her is don't feel like there's something wrong with you. Mm-hmm. Because when you first get injured, you then put yourself in the injury column. And then you start thinking about all the players who have been injured and what it's done for their careers. And then you start comparing, contrasting, and then wondering what your career will be like, what your situation will end up like. And, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. So I would tell her to understand that this just means that, you know, she just needs to take a little time to herself, you know, and that if anything, if you put yourself in a category, put yourself in the category of Paige and other players that have gone through adversity and made it work for them and made it a stage for who they really are, made it just blossom even more. So that's what I would tell her, is just that, you know, this doesn't mean that it's the end. It's just the beginning for you, and the best is yet to come. You just got to approach it as if that's what it is, because it is.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, Paige went through it twice.
Yeah, she did.
She went through it twice. And, you know, a part of her going to I think she went to the Natty like 4 times.
It was quite a few. I know definitely twice.
But I think
they lost it the last time she went, but they won this past year she went. So,
but you know, like a part of her not winning it was her just being injured, you know? And so, but the adversity that one has to go through with those type of injuries is a big time, you know, it's big time. So for her, I know emotionally it was like super emotional to know that she went through those injuries and still won a Natty and still is gonna go number 1 in the draft.
Especially because I guarantee you that's not what she thought was going to happen after she got injured twice.
1,000%. On a second injury, she probably thought, I'm not going to be the same, you know, but I watched a lot of the games, Paige. I mean, you still about to go number one. Like, you look like
no question.
You look incredible, you know.
sure.
But that's why when I think of you, I think of Juju almost like I hope that, and probably know
rubs
that you
off
guys
on
are in communication and you guys are like, you telling Juju like, hey, look, man, like, I know what you're going through, I know what you're thinking, but you could, you know, you're gonna get through it.
That's for sure. And yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's true. So, and she's super talented. Like, there's no way. You know what I mean? We love what she brings to the table, what she does for the game, not just women's basketball, but the game in general. So, we need more Juju. So, we need her to come back better than ever.
Nah, for sure. With the game, with the W increasing in popularity, man, I gotta be honest. Like, I didn't see how they would implement more money into the W, and it seems like they still haven't. When you just talk W, right? But the brands have stepped up, you know, and kind of. And I didn't know if that was gonna be like the equalizer on how women made more money in basketball. But do you still feel like the league needs to step up compensation wise? Or do you think like the W? Or do you think it's like, I mean, at least you guys are starting to make more money from the endorsements?
Yeah, I think they're for the W. I could be wrong too. I think they're about to sign a new agreement over there.
Media deal?
Yeah, the new deal over there too. So I think that'll help with the money increase as well. But I think the women being able to express themselves freely and not feel like that because they're women, they have to be clothed. When I say that, not literally, but like as far as the way that like they're able to express themselves, they have to kind of cover it up and play a role and be a certain way. And now that it's kind of opening up and we're allowing them to be themselves and show their personality, I think that's just going to bring more likeness and more awareness to the sport because authenticity is what sells, in my opinion.
Do you think the endorsements and the money gets bigger without Caitlyn?
No, and Angel.
And
no.
Angel?
No, I don't think that happens.
Like, do you think like
Because it created the drama, the story, the narrative behind women's basketball and them competing.
But do you think that the vets that have been in the W give Caitlyn and Angel their props?
I think they're starting to now. I think at first maybe it was like I don't want to say it wasn't a shock to them. It was more so of like, oh, these are rookies coming in. You don't necessarily just say, especially the way they're evolving is kind of they're at a space where the NBA kind of used to be as far as like how they treated rookies and what they look at rookies as, and I think now they've come to more of an acceptance and an embrace for those two and what they've done to not only help women's college basketball but the WNBA as well. So I think they understand that they are stronger together than they are separately. So it's already tough as it is being a professional basketball and sport. And there's only a few of us, especially if you start dividing us into different sports and women's and men's. And I think it's we're stronger together as a unit. It's enough people bringing us down. It's enough people criticizing us. It's enough people that got something to say. It's enough people with opinions. So I think they're just at a point where they have an understanding like we've come a long way in general on our own. So for them to come in and help us continue this this journey that we're on, we should embrace them for that.
Hey, can we do the reactions? And while he pull that up, you know what I just thought is super way off topic, but like, as I watched different podcasts and stories and stuff, like, it seemed like everybody had like an arch nemesis player.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have one?
My arch nemesis player?
Mm-hmm.
All them niggas is my arch. Every last one of them is my arch. We cool. I love them, but they also my enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I got so deep in it. I thought the niggas on my team was my enemy too.
What do you mean?
They just my that's where I was at mentally, because you know, I was trying to be that individual, you know what I'm saying? Like, be the guy that they're like, well, there's no question that's the guy right there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get him the ball. Well, I mean, it's fuck y'all too. Respectfully, I love y'all as teammates, as people. I'm not going to treat you any differently. But in the rectangle, it's fuck you too. I'm trying to get to this show, and if you don't have the same mentality, if you're not trying to get at it on both ends of the floor like I am, well, then I don't think you're an enemy then. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? It just was something I had to get to because I understood the responsibility of that role. So if that was the responsibility, if I had to play that role, I was going to.
That makes me think. In that quick fire thing, type out, I want to talk about the 1v1s, but like with Lou and them. But all right, let's do the reaction.
Niggas ain't gonna be in shape. You seen what you call
Right,
trying to play Brandon Jennings?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm wondering, like, so with Lou, you got Pat, and you got Brandon that are kind of, and then I think Swaggy P is in there a little bit.
Is it? Because I know right now it's Brandon Jennings, Ty Lawson, and Lou Williams for one of them jams.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jeff Teague. Is Jeff Teague playing ones?
I think they've like challenged Jeff, and I think Jeff is kind of like laughing at him like a little bit, because he like, boy, I will torch y'all. Because I think he feels like he's like a little more in shape and like current than they are. I think Lou still could play. I don't know if he's been training, but I think,
You know, we'd love to see it.
Yeah, I would
Pay-per-view that jam.
man, but Pat is probably in the best shape of them all.
For sure.
I think he might.
He was just playing overseas.
I think he might torch them. It was so funny because I think Brandon was saying his first 40-point game was against Pat.
No way. We're not about to do
Did
that.
he say that? I'm telling you. Let's look for it. Watch. Brandon Jennings' first 40-point game was against Pat Bev, he said. Yeah, you can look it up. All right, what's this one?
This goes to what you were just saying about like everybody was like it was fuck everybody because we were trying to be the guy. So 1,000%, including respectful.
Go ahead.
I was supposed to be a top 14 pick. My behavior got me in the second
not
round.
his game.
My work ethic got me started. My work ethic got me most improved.
No.
My work ethic got me on the video.
Gilbert.
You
No,
can all my work
Gilbert.
ethic out. What are you talking about?
That's not
6
true.
o'clock in the mother morning.
You had opportunity.
I didn't have no
You had
opportunity.
opportunity.
I was the 15th.
You got to play.
How?
What do you mean how?
How?
You got in the game.
How? Beating their ass in practice every
You
day.
got in the
Beating
game.
their ass in practice every day.
Gilbert, you got in the game.
Every day.
We can see how many minutes you played. You got to
40
play.
games I sat on that mother watching a whole bunch of
That's
sorry.
Rashad McCants he talking to?
A whole bunch of sorry play.
So Bobo can't say the same thing?
40 games.
How many players you think sitting on the bench thinking these niggas is sorry?
Not too many. I mean, it may be a few, but not too many. It's not too many Gilberts either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, obviously his journey was a little different than other players, but there's not too many guys that's on the bench that's like,
Oh yeah, they know they
They
supposed
know
to be
they
on
like
the bench.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I love this mentality because he right. Like, it start in practice. It start when nobody see it. Like, I ain't just start and have the year I had in Indy because, you know, they just threw me out. Like, it started before that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and everything that was happening before that prepared me for, you know what I'm saying? So he's saying like his work ethic is what got him hibachi, what got him to who he is. Like, when nobody give me nothing, yeah, because like I said, they could give you the opportunity. That don't guarantee the success.
Mm-hmm.
So he is definitely his mentality and his work ethic that guaranteed him the success. Because anyone can give you an opportunity, but they can't hold your hand to make sure it works out. So,
Yeah.
which we've seen it not work out in many scenarios. I mean, how many big threes have there been?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Nah, definitely. I mean, we talk about this. I think now more than ever, though, you are going to get an opportunity.
yeah.
It's about
Being ready.
what you do with the opportunity, being ready, being super efficient when that time comes, because it's probably going to be like a, hey, you up because somebody went down, and you're going to have to be ready. You know
I
what
think
I mean?
I think about a quote that I had seen this morning when I was writing the stuff I posted. And it's a quote from Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you watch Lord of the Rings, but it's right. It's after the first one, Fellowship of the Ring, where Frodo has an understanding like, in order for me to accomplish this goal, I must leave my crutches behind, which is the people I care about, the people that came with me, and I must take the rest of my journey on my own. And I remember him sitting at a point where he's like, man, I wish this never happened to me. Like, I wish I never got this much burden, this burden. Like, I wish I was, you know, nothing ever changed. And he hears Gandalf's voice, and Gandalf says, so do many who see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you. So there's a lot of times where you won't like the position you're in. You won't like the fact that you might be on the bench. You won't like the fact that you might not be getting in, or you might not be a part of their business plan. But if you choose your time that you have to work towards bettering yourself, towards your highest self in your craft and life and spirituality and everything, then whatever situation comes, you'll be prepared for it. You know what I mean? Because you are using your time that you have wisely. You know what I mean?
That's big time.
So,
That's super big time.
for sure.
For
sure.
Like,
Next clip, here we go. Press play.
They could knock him out in that first round. This is a nightmare scenario for this New York Knicks team to be facing this Detroit Pistons squad. First of all, with as good as Brunson is, with as great as Karl Anthony Towns is, they will not have the best player on the court when they face Detroit Pistons. The best player on the court is going to be Cade Cunningham. We just saw what he did. 30 points average over the season, but that's not even including the 30-point blowout that they had. The last 3 games, he's averaged about 35 points. This dude knows how to get to his spot against those Knicks. It was mouse in the house all night. He knows how to slow that thing down, and then also he can get the ball to the bigs down low. He has just so many problems for that Knicks team defensively. Then on the other side, this Pistons squad is the top 10 defense since the All-Star break. They can cause a lot of trouble on that end as well.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he right and wrong, and he wrong and he right.
Ari, where's he wrong?
I offensively, I don't necessarily. I can't just say he better than Brunson offensively. Can't just say that yet. Overall, like, as far as like being able to guard and size and strength, and yeah, okay. Offensively, down the stretch, I can't count JB. I can't count JB out on that. I can't just say it's no brainer, Cade. Like, we seen Brunson do it in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We seen, like, so it's hard to just say nah. You know what I mean? But Cade is definitely primed and ready. We just got to see it, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, but
I think if we're picking teams,
we're going to pick the Knicks.
Yeah,
but if we picking players, we'll probably
I was saying
It
if
would be
we're
tough.
picking teams and there's Cade and Jalen, like you may pick Jalen. I mean, especially if we thinking down the stretch, going to get one. I want Jalen, and there's no like I like Cade. Like I think Cade is
we
tough,
like him a lot. Yeah.
but I think I want Jalen at the end. So I don't know if I can
money.
agree with bro. You know what I mean? Just saying like, oh, they got like.
I think also
I
the
think
Knicks got all the
the
playoff
Knicks would
experience.
Have the best player because like Jalen is he is going to fight.
He a dog. Bro.
He's a dog.
For
Like
sure.
it might not look the prettiest, but
He a dog.
yeah, he has a competitive
It's
nature,
there. It's
spirit
there.
around
It's
him
there.
that's like, I don't know if K has that just yet. You know, I seen him hit like a game winner against Miami, but
One thing about them peas, P, we gonna see.
yeah, we
That's
gonna
for
see.
sure.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good first
But
matchup.
I still stick with I
Knicks
still
and
got
6?
the Knicks. Yeah, I got the Knicks.
Got another
Let's
clip.
see
Here
what
we
we
go. Thunder trouble. Uh-oh.
Under trouble.
I told y'all what was going to happen.
Kinda
Wendy, remember we had this conversation about a month ago?
I sure
And
do.
what did you tell me, Wendy? You looked at me like I had 7 heads.
Wendy.
You ain't want
I'm
to hear
still
anything I
looking
had
at
to
you
say.
that way.
I told you it was going to be Lakers in 5. That's it. That's it. Too many, too much. You see, my grandpa used to say all the time, he'd say, son, when you get into a fight, you don't turn the guy loose. You make him break loose. You make him break loose because you turn him loose, he was like, yeah, don't hold me back. Make him break loose. That's what we did yesterday. And we got more of that where that come from on Tuesday night. You thought we were done? We're going to show back up to your house, do a number on you again to let the world know. We're going to put the
Look at
world on
Stephen
notice.
A. face.
If you haven't noticed, it ain't very many times right now over the last week and a half, our third best player is the GOAT in the NBA. And he's been our third best. Luka, AR, Kobe of the Ozarks, and GOAT James. Boy, y'all in a heap of trouble. Hey, West, NBA, you in a heap of trouble. You in a heap of trouble.
Well, what do you got? Why does he have the Lakers in OKC? Or did they think?
Well, but this was I think this was a
Is this like-
this a special that they had after the Lakers had beat them in recently in OKC by like 30. And then they had another matchup in OKC a couple nights later on, I think it was maybe last Tuesday night or maybe two Tuesdays ago. And then Luka had gotten ejected
Yeah,
in the fourth, and they was up 1. And then they end up losing down the stretch. So, but you know, I guess they saying that if the Lakers play to Oklahoma City in the finals, that Shannon Sharp, Lakers in 5.
You like the Lakers too.
I like them. I do like them. I like them because, like I said earlier, like they got 2 dudes who have been to the finals and have beaten teams to get to the finals without each other. So, and it doesn't look like they can't play with each other, as both of them pretty much been averaging 25 since they both got there. So it's going to be interesting to see.
It's so funny
What
to
happened?
see for me. Like for the Thunder to do what they did this season, and then for it to be yet to be seen in the playoffs. If they play anything like they've been playing in the regular season, I think they're gonna be just fine.
For sure, but it's not the regular season. That's the difference about it. Like,
We gonna see.
because
I don't think they're gonna have no issues. Like I think they're gonna blow teams out. Like blow them
First
out
round,
by
maybe.
20.
like they first round matchup could be Minnesota.
And they will beat them by 20s.
I wouldn't say that.
What?
Not 20. B.
Watch.
I don't think they'll play Minnesota because I think Minnesota will win their first playing game. Who they play their first playing?
I think it's Dallas. Let me see.
Yeah, I think Minnesota will win their first playing game. But
Memphis.
yeah,
I think it's
I think
Memphis.
I give Minnesota a slight edge against Memphis in that game. But
They'll be Memphis. They'll be Memphis. Okay. Minnesota will be Memphis.
So yeah, I think OKC will be definitely good in their first round.
But
Second round gonna get tough.
So
Because
OKC versus Memphis.
in the first round.
If that's who you think they gonna play.
Well, who is the other two? Kings
It's-
and who in the other plan?
Kings and
It's somebody I noticed.
yeah, why don't I?
I know it's Timberwolves, Memphis, Kings, Golden State. No, Golden
Dallas.
State's Dallas. Yeah, so I mean, unless AD go crazy, unless AD go crazy, I might got the Kings winning that. Then the Kings will have to play the loser of Memphis. So OKC's first round will be Memphis or Sacramento. They probably going. Memphis won't be no pushover. I think the Kings, they might smack the Kings if the Kings get there.
Yeah, they gonna smack. I think they gonna smack whoever.
I don't know, P. I don't know about that. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
All right. Rapid
fire.
questions.
Beep, 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 beep.
Okay.
Player you trust to take the final shot at today's NBA. You get one pick.
One guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me Shy.
Do I gotta pick one too?
Whoa.
Because if I'm picking one, I'm going KD.
KD? Yeah, that's
gonna
big
go
time. Yeah, that's big time. Yeah, I'll go Shy. I'll go Shy. I like Shay.
I know what you meant, bro.
Yeah,
I was gonna let you. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go Shay. The most slept on team in the playoffs right now?
I think it's the Pacers.
Yeah, that's big time.
I think it's the Pacers. I do.
I
I think the Pacers could make a run.
They play hard.
Yeah.
They play
They
hard.
play really good at home too.
Yeah, they play hard. I mean, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
I have to go. I like that.
Yes.
I like them, and then I like them, and then maybe like Golden State.
Yeah. I like them as the sleeper in the West
Mm-hmm.
too. Because I don't think
I
the
don't
Lakers are sleepers anymore.
Nah, the Lakers.
If
is
you
not.
ain't awake by now,
the Lakers is not like
I don't think they sleep.
they went from like number 8 to like 3 quickly.
yeah, facts.
So
Facts.
yeah, I don't think so.
Favorite arena to play in? Mine?
That's a you question.
My favorite arena, all of them. Honestly, I love it's nothing like going to the arena and smelling the popcorn in the arena, smelling the popcorn, hearing the chatter from people, and then like going out in warm-ups and seeing how it's like only like 10 or 15 fans in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you leave and you come back and it's packed. So fire. But I love all the arenas, really. Like, I think they're so cool. I think Boston is like obviously crazy, but because it's crazy in there. But there's so many different arenas that's like that. So it's hard for me. I love all rectangles, really, but
That's so funny. I call Boston the subway station because it's at the subway station. There's a subway station there.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
is.
believe that. Honestly, like it's in there. Like what? Who's the player that had your number defensively?
Tony Allen, 1 game, 2 games.
Tony Allen.
He was really good. He was really good.
Word.
Yeah, he was really good defensively. He was really
Wow.
really, really good. He was somebody that was like, I remember playing him. It was like, nah, you gonna have to be on your P's and Q's. He could take it at any moment. So be on your guard. He was somebody. I would have to think a little bit more about who else. Avery Bradley was somebody too who was someone that could really guard. Someone that was really, that I was like, okay, you got to be ready for them. As well as like Drew.
Who is somebody on the opposite end that you was like, oh no, I'm a torch him?
Food?
Everybody. Everybody. I'm telling you, bro, like, all seriousness though, like, when I was my healthiest and felt the greatest and there was nothing wrong with me would obviously have been that year in Indy, 1.5, 2 years in Indy. And every single person was food. Like, it was not like I'm trying to kill everybody, and that hasn't changed. So I can't wait to get back out there and have that same fun mentality. It's going to be so much fun.
So who's a player you could lock up at any time, any day?
I could stop. Honestly, I think I could stop any player, anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's just one stop too. Yeah, I'm getting one stop for sure. No matter who it is. No matter who on the planet though. I'm cool with that.
This is a good one. So in your opinion, why didn't the KD, Kyrie, Harden, Brooklyn team work out?
Injuries.
Yeah,
Injuries is the number one reason. If they didn't get injured, they all probably still be in Brooklyn. If James don't get the hamstring, if Kyrie don't have the ankle, Kyrie's ankle was during the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't see nobody beating them. When they was healthy, they was crazy, that team. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate we didn't get a chance to see where it could go. Yeah. But it was crazy. It was crazy. I think it was just, it was contract time. Guys are at a point now where they're not trying to take less to be given less as far as role goes. And it's not like they're, loyalty is gone too, in my opinion. So guys are just like, man, I'm just going to do what's best for me. And oftentimes it's going to go get the most money in a better role somewhere else. So especially in a situation like that where it's like you really only have a 3 to 4 year window to really show if it works or not. And then in those 3 or 4 years, if it's like, one player's hurt this year, another player's hurt this year, and you never really get to see it, then, business plans in the NBA, unfortunately, don't exceed 10 years. It would be cool if they started giving out 10-year contracts like baseball does, but that way the fan can actually engage and have fun with the player and the team and okay, the next 10 years is ours. He getting better. Makes for more room for arguments and debates and stuff like that, but maybe one day, we'll see. Jeff Teague answered a question, would you take $50 million pay cut or guaranteed ring? $50 million. I got a ring on my finger right now, I'm cool.
Yeah, give me the bread.
$50 million, man.
Yeah, I need the bread.
$50 million. Now,
if it comes, it comes.
Yeah, with the ring, obviously things come with it, but even with a ring, that don't guarantee you 50.
I think, you want to know the honest, this might not be good for any players to say, but I think the ring is a trick for the owners. The only person who wins when you win the ring is the ownership. You know what I'm saying? That's when the value of the team goes up. But for the player, it don't really do much.
Yeah. If anything,
if
you're the player,
you accolade on your,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get treated differently.
It's
you get treated a little better too.
As far as monetarily, there's still a cap. There's no cap on how much you sell the team for. Mm-hmm. That's the whole reason why Boston wins the championship
and then sells the team right away.
You know what I mean? But Jalen or JT, they don't really see no fruits from that. They gonna get what they was gonna get, whether they play for Boston
or anyone else.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think the ring is a trick, where
the trophies and the rings is the tricks.
Yeah, they kind of the owners is kind of man, I'm glad they still want them joints. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad they still want the MVP. I'm still glad they, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of getting to a space where guys are realizing wait, our money is guaranteed, so I'm going to get this regardless if I sit out these games or I'm going to do that. And I think that as long as they, guys keep striving for all-stars and MVPs and scoring titles, the ownership is thank God. Because once the guys just start being okay, I was just good enough to just get the 300, and I'm gonna do what it takes to get that, and nothing else more. And I don't care about the accolades and shit like that. Owner's gonna be in trouble.
But you don't feel like that dilutes the product a little bit for the fans? When the players are hungry for the accolades, I feel like the fans get a better product in terms of a more entertaining game.
Yeah, I think by nature, these guys that are playing these sports are by nature going to be competitive.
1,000%.
You know, like I think that, yeah, like it helps, you know, the game, but I think for the individual, you know, you got guys, some guys, just even this question, would you take a $50 million pay cut? Because some guys are taking pay cuts. They not playing any differently, you know? I mean, like, they not going to play harder or less harder. Like, if they take a $50 pay cut, they're not going to play less harder.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the pay cut. My bad. I thought it said $50 million or a ring, but I wouldn't take a pay cut to guarantee a ring. I wouldn't pay $50 million for a ring.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I think that the guys are going to play how they play, regardless, you know? But I think that, yeah, I do think that some owners are, like, happy that they want to continue doing it, you know? And it speaks to the oh, well, we're not going to give you certain awards if you miss a certain amount of games. I think that's the wrong way to approach it, and I don't think it worked.
I don't think so either.
Like, guys are still like, oh, whatever. And they just really pushing guys to that point where it's like, care about the MVP. Like, I'm still getting, because, like, there got to be a point, like, where, yeah, like, you love basketball, you know, but it's like, yeah, I love basketball. Like, I'm playing basketball. Like, what? You know what I mean? And they paying me a lot of money to do it.
Yeah,
like,
they love basketball. They don't love how it's run necessarily. That's not, when I say that, it's not like that's the, oh, I love how it's run. You know, they're going to be like, no, I love basketball.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love and I'm doing that and I'm making money. So it's like, what more do I need? That pretty much was the goal. You know what I mean? Like, so. Yeah,
I mean, that's just my opinion. I think that the owners, I think the owners benefit from those rings more than the players.
Yeah, I think that the ring thing though is about like more so like individual greatness and then trying to like, you know, solidify yourself as one of the best inside of the best. And then obviously when you win a ring, you know, people are, you know, treat you differently, look at you differently. It brings more sponsorships. It brings more, you know what I'm saying? Obviously those things too come with that. So I think that plays a role in that pursuit. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't give a pay cut to, because I mean, I'm cool. I'm not. There's no telling, because you're not telling me what role I'm in. So I could give the 50 million pay cut, and then it's someone else that's that's getting the finals MVPs, that's getting all. So that doesn't guarantee I get the little, you know what I'm saying? I get the little extra check for being there, but it doesn't guarantee all the other stuff with it, you know?
It's either like 50 million is like 50 million. I can actually do something with it. The ring is kind of like, it's not guaranteed that it's going to replenish the 50 million.
Yeah, you might not get the 50 million back.
And
Yeah.
the ring is kind of like it's just like an accessory, or like it's an accolade, and it's a big accolade. Don't get me wrong, but it's still kind of like,
It's here today and gone tomorrow.
yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure there's like, there have been plenty of guys sell their ring, you know what I mean? Like, don't really care about it, you know? I mean, and to be honest, like, it didn't really make, I think, like, if you was to ask Charles Barkley or guys that don't have one, like, they kind of over it too. And they, I mean, Charles has got a career that some guys that got rings, they don't got the career he got.
1,000%.
Like, after ball. You know what I'm saying?
Even during it.
So,
Because some niggas that got rings didn't do shit to get them.
so it's like, it's a give or take. It just depends on what you want. You know what I mean? Some guys, that's the thing about knowing yourself and knowing what you want.
Exactly.
You know, because like some guys, that's what
Exactly.
they live for. They read for it, and it's like, yeah, you've accomplished what you accomplished, and that's what you want. Cool. Some guys, they just want the money. Some guys want the money to do what they actually like to do. You know, and then and they. So if I get the money, I accomplished. I don't need the ring or the trophies. I don't need I would imagine Jokic don't care. I think he wanted the championship for like yo, I just want to see if I can do it.
Yeah, he liked the horses.
But I don't think he was happy, of course. But those, especially the MVPs, I think he could care less.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't remember? Yeah, I remember that. He said, man, I'm trying to go see the horses. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of The Inner Court with my co-host Neiman Johnson. What we know for a fact here, it ain't what's on you, it's what's in you. Peace and love.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.